Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to, what is it, episode 142 of DevChatter. I know how to words. Greetings, welcome. Hopefully you are all having a fantastic start to your week. It is a Monday, so I know a lot of people are not thrilled by that, but hopefully a little bit of streaming will make your day a little bit better. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the channel. We are going to be doing some code here today, as we usually do. There is something different about this stream that I don't know how long it will take for people to figure out, but we will see how long it is. So, if you are new here, welcome. Feel free to say hi and talk in the chat if you like. And let us know if you have any questions or anything like that. Feel free to ask. We don't want to leave anybody behind on this stream. So if you do have questions, you want to know why we're doing something, you have a suggestion for a better way to do things, feel free to mention that in the chat room. Most of what we do here on the stream is C# and JavaScript. We primarily do C#, but we do quite a lot of JavaScript as well. We're going to do other things on, so other languages, technologies, and things like that on the stream. But today we're going to be working on our interactive stream game. It's probably the best way of describing it. So, here in the channel, what we have been working on is making a game that could be played both on our Twitch stream as well as on other people's Twitch streams. So, the concept is that we have a whole bunch of people in chat. Maybe I'm playing games, maybe I'm doing something else, maybe I'm working on pixel art, maybe I'm programming. Now, here on our channel, it's mostly programming. We do a little bit of pixel art. And sometimes people might want to play a game along with the stream, some kind of loyalty thing, some kind of challenge thing, a way to get the audience involved with the other people in the audience as well. So that's part of the game that we're trying to design. And I will show you all that in a moment. A couple of things I want to make sure I mention. If you are new here and you want to chat with me or any of the other people that are here in DevChatter on a frequent basis, the best way to do that is to take a look at our Discord, and that is linked over there. In the Discord. And OXDQMC, marbles on the stream, yes, that's a similar style of thing, except this is more interactivity than that, for the most part, as far as I know. But yes, that's kind of the idea. I'm not planning on making marbles, but you'll see what our game is. The earphones, you can find information about all the equipment that I use here on the stream down below the stream in the panels. So if you take a look down below, you'll find all that information for the headset I use, as well as microphone, various lighting and things like that, green screen, and you'll also find information about books that I recommend people read. Pat, greetings, welcome. Not a whole lot. Coated Beard, hey hey, good evening. Twitchluff, let's get los incomprehensible screaming sounds. Oh, okay, got it, you're singing. I understand now. Yes, so welcome everybody. We are going to go ahead and get started. As I mentioned, if you wanted to chat with us, Discord is the best way to do that, but also if you want to contribute to our project or take a look at any of the code that we use here on the stream, the best place to do that is to go over to our GitHub at github.com/devchatter. If you want to see archives of our videos, you can find most of those over on YouTube, link in the chat as well as down below the stream. And if you want to follow me or just DevChatter on Twitter, links over there in the chat, again, also down below the stream. Let's go ahead and take a look at what our program does. So today, if I go to localhost overlay, I have a website running. It's actually what the chatbot is that's here in the chat talking with all of you. So you'll see it posting stuff when I call for commands and things like that. That's the chatbot we build here on the stream. That is all built in C# and JavaScript, including any of the overlay stuff that we do with it. Crichton, you are here on time. We only started just a little bit ago. Okay, so this is the screen where the game is. Now, I said that this is a stream interactive game. So that means that me, you, everyone else needs to be able to do something to interact with it. And the way that we do that is through the chat, obviously. So this is the chat window here for our DevChatter stream. And what we can actually do is go over into the rooms, and I'm going to go into the game room, and I'm going to type in wstart. And you'll see when I do that, a game pops up. Now, I have the overlay turned off on the stream. So that means that normally it would show up right there beside me, but right now it's in this browser window. So see, it's in the browser window. But normally it's in a screen that takes up the full width of the stream, and then gets displayed actually as part of this stream. So that's the idea there. But we can play the game in this window, and it's a little easier to debug in here than it is when it's running through OBS. So the game actually can be played fully from inputs from the command. So I can just, you know, give it all the commands I want like this, and it will actually just play the game. And you'll see that my character actually is holding a whole bunch of weapons already, because I have been playing him for a little while, and he often survives to get to the next adventure. And so that means he gets to bring his items with him as he travels around, you know, trying to survive, essentially, in this zombie apocalypse. So you'll see there I escaped with a sword, an axe, and 10 coins. So I want to set this up so that everyone can play this game, and that there maybe is a time limit of like how frequently you can go, and maybe there are certain special adventures where we'll have more than one player on the map at the same time, things like that. We're going to figure out how to make this nice and interactive for everybody on the stream. Starting out, what I want to do is I want to change up how we do some of this surviving. So today, the way that it works is you get to level 3, you step on the exit, you step on that, you know, helicopter pad, and you've escaped. And you'll maybe land, you know, the idea being you'd land somewhere else and you'd be running away again. Did I mention cat stream? Yeah, kitty stream. Hey, bud. So Pat, what'd you say? So when you type that command, it opens a browser to play, or is this all going to work inside Twitch? So Pat, this actually works during the stream. So I actually have that on the overlay. So if you type that command, it automatically opens so that the stream would see it, is the idea. And Will, I'm not kidding you. That is exactly what happens. So for example, someone go over into the game room and type in wstart, and you'll have a game started. Now right now, because I'm playing in the browser window, I get keyboard controls which actually help me to play the game, which helps with debugging. In the long run, that's not the plan for how it would get played. It would all be done through these commands so that you guys can type them in. So there you go. So you're able to hop into the game, and notice the player now is you and not me, so it's got your name right here. And you should be able to move around on that board just by typing those move commands. Exactly. Yep, just like that. And that zombie will chase you around. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Zoltralord, hey, welcome. Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a little while, but glad to see you are here, and thank you very much for that that tier 1 sub. You once again have an egg. You tried to move right -5. I don't think that works. I don't think we move you if you do that. And I apologize, everybody. Let me just check something here. Alright, hang on. There we go. More than one move in one command. Oh, so right and down. Okay. So yes, OX, we are planning to do that. We are going to make it so that you can give more than one command at any given time, but right now we're just doing it like this. So single move at a time, but yes, there is the intention of giving a whole sequence of commands. So like maybe we would do it something along the lines of, right 5, left 4, or well, it'd be like right 5, down 3, left 2, or something like that, right? Where you give some sequence of commands. But yeah, that's the idea. Why does the bot hate me so second month hasn't showed my resub? Coated Beard! Oh, man. I have no idea why it is not showing your resub. Twitch should be giving you the opportunity to click the remind us of your resub button. But much appreciated. Glad you are here. Thank you very much for your support. And S&B, you as well. Thank you and welcome. Hype, hype, hype indeed. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and zip you out of here. Burp. Sorry, OX. Yeah, so only one person actually gets to play at a time. Is part of the way it works, so whoever's in one, that's the one that's going to be happening. So we need to get that feedback so that it does tell you when you cannot actually start one. So, while that's going, let me go ahead and do this. I'd recommend, again, starting one right now, because you can't see the screen. Alright. So, here we go. What I wanted to do today is this. I want to work on the level generation because I did some new artwork for the game, and I want to be able to use some of that. So, we did some cool new stuff. Hey, Greendorf, welcome. So, here is the plan. I want to... I don't want to mess with that. I want to go to level generation. Level generation. So that is level.js. OX, yes, I was thinking about that actually. Making a Twitch extension as the set of controls. I was thinking about having two things for that. I was thinking about putting both the shop as well as a directional pad for movement. That is something that I was thinking about doing, but I love the suggestion. If you guys have ideas for that, I'd love to hear it. Pat, you have a junior dev interview tomorrow. That is awesome. Congratulations. Good luck. Do well. I think you will. And should be fun. Yes, S&B, there are Bob Ross streams. They basically just rerun all the Bob Ross streams. You can actually also watch all of Cosmos. Lots of good stuff. Okay, so here's what I want to do. So next is the big old method that currently creates all the stuff that we put on the level that we're on. So we start out, so we say turn of this level is 0. We grab an old exit, if there is one, so that attempts to get an exit item. We then clear out the entity manager, so we've saved a previous exit if we had one. And then level number, if we had one, then set the player to space 0 and old exit location Y. Okay, and then we add the player back into the entity manager. Then we check to see if we're on level 3. STHO32, welcome. Thank you very much for that follow. Greetings. Umbaz, I'm guessing on that name, but welcome. Glad you like the Discord. Yeah, we like a nice friendly stream here, so welcome. Okay, so level number equals 3. Create the escape. Otherwise, we're just gonna have a level exit. So then we're gonna add that. Do we use this for anything else? No, not on the selection. Check the current document, please. So required location. Okay. Alright, we can do that. And welcome, thanks for that follow. Glad you are here. So that'll create our zombies, then we'll create our obstacles. So here's what I want to do. We looked at creating walls and things like that. So I want to optionally create, before we get things like our obstacles, our exits, stuff like that, I want to potentially add in a special exit. So let's go ahead and do that, and I think we're going to do it no matter what. So let's give that a try. So what I want to do is create one of those. So where do we want to put this? For now, we'll make this a method inside this same class. So we'll say this generate house escape. Okay, so we're gonna create a house to go into. Entities. We'll say generate house escape entities. This is going to return a set of entities that will add in. So we'll say let this be entities, house entities. House entities equals that. And then I want to say this dot underscore game entity manager. So we're going to grab that. We're going to say add. Let's open up the entity manager. That's single entity. So we're going to push on the entity and then sort them based on the Z index. Okay. That ought to work. So let's do house entities dot for each, and then we're gonna say we're just gonna call it X, and let's do that. So for each one of the house entities added into the manager, alternately I could make it so the entity manager has a for each, that it can essentially let it add in multiples. Entity manager add. Maybe use concat. Oh, to join the two arrays together. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. So at that point we would go into the entity manager. And essentially, instead of doing a push, we would say if entity is instance of, so entity instance of array, right? Then we would want to do when you concat, is it just do we just concat on the entity like that? essentially saying then if we got an array, concat the two arrays together, otherwise push on the individual item that we wanted, being the idea there. I think that's what you're suggesting. Oh, cat. Cat. Let's see. What would it be? JavaScript concat. Concat. I talked about cat. Cat showed up. Array concat. Okay, so it creates a new array. So I would have to assign that new array to the previous one if I did that. So that's a little weird. It does not. Yeah, and it returns it. So what gets weird about that is that means I'm changing this collection. So if something's accessing this collection, it gets a little weird. So I don't know if that's necessarily the way I want to do it. So I'm going to back that out for now. We'll leave it like this and consider having it work a different way. Just because I don't want to break how that array works in case something is watching it for changes. Or if we want to be able to watch it for changes, we can't do that kind of modification to it. Which I don't think we are doing that yet anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, so generate house escape entities. Let's go make those. So this is going to be a method that we create down here for now. We'll put it somewhere else later. So generate that, create that. So later on, this is not really going to exist here. This is going to be something that we do. Let's see. We need to return an array, so let's just create the array. So we're going to have whoops. Let house entities equal an array. Return house entities. And we might change up the structure for how we're building this, but that ought to get us there for now. So, since this actually is just going to be hard-coded for now, I think I'm just going to put them in. So this will be a new obstacle, I think. What? Isn't obstacle the name of the class? No, it's not. I called it something else, didn't I? I called it barrel fire. Why isn't it just a generic obstacle? It really should be, because barrel fire is not special at all. So I guess it's going to be a wall of some kind. So that's interior wall pieces. Okay. We need a new way of doing that. Anyway, we're gonna create a new wall object. Why didn't I get... Come on, IntelliSense, where are you, man? Where are you? Didn't I have IntelliSense on the wall? Did I not put it in there? Well, it's right there. There it is. That's my JS doc right there. So I need a game object and a key is what I'm saying for that. So that's this dot underscore game. Game. Some kind of key. Let's do this. So, how many pieces do we want? We want 4 pieces, roughly speaking. We need... exterior left front, maybe. This needs to be an escape. Let's grab the images. We'll do it that way for now. I'm and I'll figure out how we want to map that, because I don't really want to do it the way that it wants us to. Inside of walls. So let's do X left. So we'll say X wall left blue, X wall window blue. Except I want these to be names, not strings, so we'll change those. Let's call this exterior wall door. It's a red door but blue the way I drew it, so we'll call this exterior wall right blue. And instead of being wall, I'm going to call these X wall for now. And this one needs to be X door. Because this is an effect item and this is an obstacle. So that's the big difference here. So let's go ahead and make classes for those. And these need to be like X wall dot something. Is the way that I want those to work. So let's have a look at that, because I want them defined in some way that's reusable, so we don't have those magic strings there. So instead of just wall, let's create X wall. Hey, Sushinator, yes, you are hatching from that egg. Welcome. Thank you very much for the 3 months of Twitch Prime. Greatly appreciated. Alright, cool. Keep that code dry. Yeah, I want these, I want it so that we don't have magic strings and so that we're not repeating these everywhere. I want someone to be able to get auto-completion on these as well. So that's part of the idea. I have tried TypeScript a long time ago, and I am planning on doing TypeScript on the stream at some point, but this is intentionally vanilla. Okay, so let me go ahead and create that, and then we're going to go ahead and say X wall. So, because I kind of want to treat exterior walls differently. And I've got a lot fewer of these than I do of the other ones. So, exterior wall, so let's just do this. Put that one in, there's left. Let's grab this one. Put in that one, and then this should be right. And that should be the last of them, so I don't need anything at that point and down for now. Maybe we'll add the other ones later. Now, what did I call these? I don't need wall anymore. This is X wall. Oops. X wall. It is an entity. You're gonna jump back. Nope, level. Not wasteful. Level. This is what I was calling them. So let's do this. And hang on, everybody. I see the stuff in chat. I just wanna. Okay, that's not how it's going to be set up. You like chocolate JS better. Nice. You like Lua better. Lua's an interesting one. Making a game so much work, I would probably end up stealing some game and just coding a controller proxy for it. Yeah, making a game is actually a lot of work. So this one is door. This one is middle, which I'm not sure. Actually, are we using it? Window and right. Is that what I called them? Window, door, right. Window, door, right, left. Yeah, okay, cool. That's what they're called. Except I don't want them to be accessed that way. I want to get them based on value, like a nameable piece instead of based on a string. So what I want to do is this. I want that to be a completable thing. So I am planning on this. What's a good word for it? Whenever I try to make it again, I end up getting nerd sniped by graphics programming. Oh yeah, Greendolf. That's why we're doing. That's why we've got pixel art. And actually, I don't mind my pixel art, but yeah, pixel art definitely required. Our artwork's not bad. I don't mind it for this game. And you guys, it's really sad how much effort it actually took me to make that stuff. So that is actually the key right now. You know what? Here, let's try this. I need to give these a location. Now that I think about it, so I get these. I need to tell it where these are. So when I create this, so normally, let me open up a barrel. Oh man, this one's a barrel of fun right here. When I add the barrels in the level, what do I do with them? Barrels set location. We set location to a random location. Okay, so I want to set location to the place that I want to actually put it. Maybe when I create it. So we're going to do it when I create it. A friend of mine made a game available on Steam more or less by himself. The only way he succeeded doing so was working on it 14 hours a day for 3 years. There you go, Fuel Snable. That is a way to do it. What are the dashes in the key names? Will it work with IntelliSense? So I'm going to change it so that it will work with IntelliSense. This set of magic strings, that won't work with IntelliSense. That's not how it's going to work. Those are just there temporarily as I was, thinking it through. What we're going to do to make this work with IntelliSense is slightly different. I want to make it so that we call this and we have a set of strings. So let's make this dar. I know a little bit about application security, not so much networking security though. My expertise in networking is quite out of date at this point too. That's not most of what I do. But I do like network communication stuff, so like accessing APIs and the like, so internet-based stuff, but not exactly networking. So I want to create a how do I want to set this up? We created these somewhere else. Let me take a look at what I did in metadata. I did a static getter on those with constants up there. Could I make a second type for that? I could potentially. Let's try this. Hang on. I'm going to steal that too. So we get IntelliSense on it. think if I went... So what I'm thinking about is this. Here's how I'm thinking I want this to be accessed. If we said like xwall dot blue dot like, I don't know what that was. Blue dot left is kind of what I'm looking for. I kind of want it like that. So let's talk about this. I want to go grab let's jump over here. We're gonna grab symbols for those. Grab effect item. Let's do this. Let's export a constant called xwall meta. And welcome, Katza. Greetings. We are working with like ES6 here, and hey, greetings. Chef, do I have a Twitter profile I can share out with your live right now stream on Twitch? Yes, I do. Let me go ahead and link that in the chat. You can find those right there.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Okay, so I don't want to use that one necessarily. I think so. I mentioned I want to do this as xwall blue and then left. So that would mean that this would need to be like blue, which I guess would be lowercase. It's a blue exterior wall, and then this should get us back one of these objects. Except I don't really want it to be that. Xwall meta. Hey, no problem, Chef. And links to Twitter and everything like that down below as well. Hey, Simon, greeting. You know, I don't really know on that one, Pat. I kind of wanted to use the new features of ES6, and there are a lot of them that do this kind of stuff, so that's part of the reason. We actually started it off differently without all these classes and things like that. We didn't have it structured exactly like this. Most of it was functions. But we kind of started to switch because we were kind of like, hey, yeah, they have this new thing in ES6. Let's try it out, see how it works. So some of this is just the fact that it is a project where we can say, hey, that sounds cool. I wanna try this. So external wall pieces. Let's actually just make this a class. External wall pieces. Do that now. How do we want to do that? I mean, alternately, I could just make them, once you have that, just put this in here. could call that like blue pieces or something. At which point, if this was just door, left, middle, window, and right, then I can access them that way, and that wouldn't be bad. So, yeah, which point we could just call this image source. Instead of taking in a key, it takes in an image source that had to come from there. Interestingly, door doesn't actually show up here. This shouldn't be in here, because door is not actually part of it. So instead of that, we'll say image source. Source of get source from static properties, like x wall dot blue dot window. Okay, so now that I get the idea across for how to use it, this returns back not a string, but this is an object. Oh, that has a whole bunch of properties that I should probably define on here. Pat, static essentially means that this is part of the class itself, rather than being on an instance of the class, is a short answer for how that works. So, yep, that is what that one means. This returns back object with with fields of image sources for pieces. So back here, this becomes xwall blue, and this should actually be left, middle, window, and right, which means I should lower that to lowercase w as well, because we're going to match with JavaScript styling for that. So we're going to say left is that one. And this one is xwall dot blue dot, we said this one was window, xwall dot blue. Actually, we'll put in a middle and we'll put in a right as well. Okay, and then the last thing that we need is we need an exit item. Oh, that was oh, I created that as xdoor. Oh, man. Blue. And notice we did not get auto-completion on the word door. Yeah, so Pat, that's actually what lets me call it like this, so I can say xwall instead of this one. So now this whole thing is complaining because I didn't tell it what a wall is. So xwall, and we'll call this xwall. So now this code has imported xwall and it knows what it is. What it doesn't know about is xdoor. So let's create the same structure for X door. It is not an obstacle. This is a... exactly, so I don't use this, I use the class name, because it's actually the class instead of an instance of the class. So instead of being my wall object, it is the wall class, the type, that has it. So that's the concept. So I have the wall type keeping track of the available strings to pass in. For now. I probably should, now that I think about it, make that be like a private constructor style of approach, like what we would do in C#, and make it call this to get one of these objects. So calling that would get you a new instance. So that might be the approach we should take instead. For now, this works. So we want an effect item. It's up here. That I want it to be an escape item, actually. Can I define the image for an escape item? It looks like I can. Cool. That'll work out perfectly then. I just pass in the sprite I want. Awesome. Yeah, I just make one of these. Create escape item. Pass in the thing. Well, that's cool. We'll do this then. X wall, blue door. It's gonna be the image for now. Cool. Pass in the game, create a new sprite. I'll probably wrap this in something so that these are slightly different. Because I don't like the fact that this has a whole bunch of magic to it. There's a whole bunch of things to find here. I'd rather just create like a doorway to go somewhere. Let's uncomment that on the wall for now. So we'll bring this back out so that I have a way to get that image easily. But I do want to pull that into a door. Although I kind of want to set up that there is like the concept of here's the different pieces, like door, left, middle, window, and right. Those are exterior house structures, just straight up. And then if you want to pick them from a different theme, then that's choose the theme and display based on that is kind of the approach that I want to go. So that the house doesn't always have to be the same house. That's the idea. Let's see. Have I ever done coaching? I actually do a lot of coaching. I do coaching and mentoring. That's the main thing that I do. It can be profitable, but it does take actually a lot of time and a lot of effort in order to do it, because there's plenty more than just the time spent sitting with someone. So I am an independent consultant. I do consulting, like project work, but I also do coaching and mentoring for my clients. So if anyone in here is looking for coaching and mentoring, I am always, trying to make sure that I've got my next gig lined up. Okay, so we're gonna do that. So we want to make this. I think I want to try it. Let's give it a shot. Cool. Doesn't look like anybody's got a game running. Okay. So it looks like we don't break. I didn't give it dimension. I didn't give it a location for where to draw this stuff yet. So we still need to do that. But looks like we didn't do anything that's just, straight up causing errors. So that's good. So we're in a nice spot. So let's generate this. Let's put these where they go. So let's specify in here where they're going to go right now. Let's do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll put it at 8, x of 8, and we'll put it at 0. So 8 comma 0. We're going to put this, and no, this isn't how we're going to do it in the long run. We just want to hard code this in here just to try and get it working. Escape item does not have a location. How does it get its location normally? Exit manager, add this exit, create exit. Hey, Julie. My cat is really wanting attention today. Hey, bud. Say hi to everybody on the stream. Hello, everybody on the stream. My name is Jolie, and I am a big friendly cat. Yeah. Pet me right meow. Exactly, Pat. What? Okay. And welcome. Jolie, please leave the green screen alone. And welcome, thanks for that follow. I did not see who that was because the cat started messing with my green screen right when you came in, but much appreciated all the same. See if I can't fix my green screen. There we go. Cat's just being extra friendly today. And Zunjin? Guessing? Might have butchered that name. If I did, I apologize. Let me know how to say it better, and I will attempt to say it better next time. So, creates the escape. So, where did we put old letter? So, this exit. So, we add the exit. Acquire location, exit location. Does an escape item automatically create its location? It sets its location right there. I need to set its location again. Okay, thank you for that. So that means once I create the object, I need to change it. So this item needs to get extracted. We'll call this the doorway. Because doorway, sadly, escape item is setting its location, so we're going to have to set location. And where do we want to set it to? It needs to be at 10, 0. So that's where it's going to be, and then this is 11, 0. There we go. So that should create that item, put it where we want it to go. So let me refresh this, make sure that we get a new version. Let's see if this breaks. Hey Andy, you are typing in the game chat room instead of in the regular one. Maybe you knew that, maybe you didn't. Those are not where I wanted those to show up. I think because I didn't define where they were actually supposed to be. So these popped into the corner because I didn't set up wall to actually accept those parameters. So let's add that to xwall. So this will be x, y. And let's say this dot set location. Can entity receive those? Nope, not enemy. Where's entity? Right here. Entity, walkable sprite, set location to 0, 0. We call this one first, so it set the location there. We want to set the location to the x and y that we specify. And that's the one that we specified on xwall. Let's try that again. And there it is. Fantastic. So there's our little house that we built up there. Derp. And yes, I do draw the game on top of the derp. Let me go ahead and check out what is going on in the chat, everybody. Sorry about that. Oh, awesome! I actually got pretty close on the name. Glad to hear it. Let's see. So, do I recommend Eloquent JavaScript for learning JS? So my best recommendation I can give to anybody for learning a new language, whether it be JavaScript or any other one, is one of the big things is if you are someone that learns well from books, go ahead and briefly read any short book. Doesn't really matter. One of the best things to do though when learning a new language is go try it somewhere. So figure out some simple project that you can work on. Some people like doing the kata or programming exercise approach where you do the same programming exercise you've done before, but in this new language, and that's one of the best ways to learn because you are able to try it without having to learn the domain space. You're not learning the project you're working on. So here, for example, I've never built this game before, so I'm learning this game as I go. So I'm thinking both about how we want to solve this game problem as well as any new stuff that we try. So if I try something new, I'm learning two concepts at once. So that's one of the things when learning programming languages and things like that. You want to try and keep it to just focusing on one thing at a time. So that would be my main suggestion. So just kind of work on stuff. That's one of the best ways to do it. Okay. So I wouldn't actually worry about that it's too old thing because you can always learn the new stuff that's in a language. So languages are constantly changing, that is true. But if the book does not have a newer version and you really like the style or you like something about the author, that's a good way to learn a language. You're welcome, Andy. Andy, calling you out on it, that is being special. No special allowed. You have courses there. And yes, Clean Code is a fantastic book. You'll actually find my book recommendations down below, which usually are not language or technology-specific recommendations. They're usually just coding as a whole. I like that kind of stuff. Dark, welcome back. Welcome back. Yes. And yes, most people do learn the best from actually working with the code. Noyen Rain, welcome, thank you very much for that follow. Ooh, and I escaped with 100 points, holding a sword, and an axe, and no coins. Yep, exactly. So, Pat, the intention with reading a short book is that you learn a lot about the concepts that you need to look up. So that gets you the breadth of knowledge, and then from that, what you're able to do is when you reach a point where you need to know something, you'll be like, wait a minute, I remember reading about this existing. I don't remember how to do it, but I know it exists, and that helps you out by knowing what to Google. And so one of the big things that I think a lot of people don't realize is with experience developing and learning about a language and a technology doesn't mean you know every specific thing about it. It means that you probably remember more things that you need to look up later in order to use it. So that's one of the big things. You're very welcome. Glad to help, and glad everybody's here. Always great seeing you all. Knowing what to Google. Exactly, Crimson. You have to know what to Google. Have some coins, Pat. And, actually... for that great question, have 100 coins. Much appreciated. Always good stuff. Okay, so Crimson went and completed the level, but the cool thing is that our little house thing is drawn on there. So it's not perfect. It's not like by no means done, but we've got a little house that we can escape into. So what I like about that is I kind of want to treat that as a different kind of escape. So that's not escape by helicopter, for example. That is a different. That's like getting into a safe house. So I drew this little house with like boarded up windows and and a door and a, you know, it's not bad. I don't mind it. It looks a little house-like, actually. So, so one of the other things that I want to do then is like put a road in, you know. So maybe we're walking down a road and you get to a house. Is kind of the structure that we want to do. So we'll see. Oh, you don't want a roulette in our chat. And actually, is our roulette command not working? Our roulette command should work. Oh yeah, roulette command worked. There you go. It's great because everybody thinks the roulette command is a coins roulette command, but no, it's not that roulette. Okay, so, and that's why it's only 10 seconds, because we don't actually want someone actually getting timed out from the chat. We want everybody to be able to participate. It's just funny, because like the assumption is, oh yeah, roulette, like we can gamble our coins. Nope, that's not what it is. Okay, so we set that up, so there's the house. So what I want to do is I want to generate that sometimes. So that's one of the ways that we can escape. So let's try and figure out how we want to do this. So I want random, I want to have some random bits to this. So for now, what we do is, on level 3, there's an exit created. But really what I want to do is I want to make it so that that we can leave at a certain point. Maybe we choose randomly which type of exit. So let's do this. This dot underscore exit equals this dot underscore choose exit level exit type, get level exit type, create level exit. So we'll do that. Create level exit. And that's actually why I don't like the fact that we called our exit item an exit item. I kind of want to call it a next level item or something like that. So I want to move this in here, and instead of setting this dot exit, I want to return one of these maybe. Return one of those. Return one of these. So it's that and that. Hang on, let me check out the chat, everybody. Am I blind? Maybe somehow someone knows how the current project is named under GitHub. You can't find our project in whoops, that's the Discord link, not the GitHub link. That's the GitHub link. So if you go over to our GitHub, you can actually find that it's DevChatter bot. So it's actually our main bot is where the wasteful game is. So that might be why you didn't find it when looking for it. But it is here. We don't have enough things that use our chat currency coins yet, but we will have more stuff that you can get. And what you do in order to buy something is this. So you say shop buy 3, for example, and that'll buy the sword. So that's the way the shop command works right now. We should have it, so I don't have enough help text on it to make that clear just yet. But right now, the money that you use to buy stuff in the shop is collected in-game. So inventory is what you want to check for that. We are going to merge it so that our currency systems overlap, so the game currency and the chat currency become the same currency. But I have not done that merge yet. So... or there's an exchange rate. We'll determine that at some point. Else if so Let's get a random number. Why is my brain not working right now, everybody? I don't actually know. Let's do this. Let random chance equal that. Let's just go to 100. So math.random times 100, so that'll be a number between 0 and 1, so between 0 and 100 is what we're going to get here, roughly speaking. DevChatter repo doesn't contain JS code. Yes, it does, Andy. All of our JavaScript code is in the DevChatter bot repo on GitHub. So you will find all that on there. If you want to find where the game, where all that game stuff is, the things we're working on, just take a look at the branch and look at Rogue, and you'll actually find all the Rogue stuff in here. So that's where all of it is. Let me go ahead and get rid of that. We don't want that one. So right now we're not merged into the main project yet, although I will be merging that in soon, so please expect that to show up. Anyway, let me do a couple of things real fast. Hang on. Coins! Hang on. Guys, give me a sec. Bot's not responding because I just killed it, so give me a second. Alright, so here's what we want to do. So random chance is going to be this. So I wanted an increasing chance that you get an escape over time. So an escape will create if random chance is less than 20%, and if random chance is less than 30, so that gives 10% chance. We'll say less than 25, and we'll do the house. And then the regular exit's 75% chance. And actually, let's make it harder. There we go. So usually it'll be a helicopter escape. Sometimes it'll be the house. No, you didn't kill the bot. I turned it off. The bot is currently not running. So give me a sec, because I'm going to start it up. So we create an exit. That gets us our house. So this creates the house entities. And oh, I want to get the escape item out of it. It's going to be a collection of entities. I need this item. This doorway. How did we do that in the level creator? We do that at the beginning. We find the exit. We did it in the entity manager. Oh, I could just do this. Yeah, that's a good idea. So then I don't actually even need to track the exit at all. That's a good point. I don't need to track the exit. I just need there to be one. Okay, so because we just used it as the required location. Okay, so in create level exit, I'll just add it to the manager when we do that. Derp. Okay, so inside of create level exit, so create level exit, I will do this. So we're actually just going to do that in each one of these. So we'll create an escape there. And this one is... So this one adds them like that. So that works. Okay. So now that we don't actually need the exit, so this won't return anything. We're just going to be calling it. So don't set the exit there. This .exit location, we don't obtain that way, we get like this. So we're going to grab the first exit item and call that a required location. So there we go. Okay, Z Doctor, the game is actually going pretty well. You're an orc that breaks bot, nice. Git push origin master. Yes, Crimson Green, exactly. You only have experience with JavaScript. If you were to learn an object-oriented program, I think C# is actually a very good language to learn if you know JavaScript right now. And part of the reason I say that is because a lot of the direction that JavaScript has been taking is toward languages like C#. And a lot of the steps that C# has been taking lately is towards the design of functional programming languages. So think more in the direction of like F#. Now what that means is that the languages are getting a little bit closer together, so you'll run into a little bit of confusion in that they have a similar syntax. So C# and JavaScript look the same. So when people see me switching between the code, you'll find that it's hard to tell which one we're in at any given time. But once you get used to it, you see the differences between them. But yeah, I think C# is actually a very good, easy language to pick up. Once you get past the object-oriented concepts, C# is a language that I think you'll not have much trouble with. And yes, Python's also an interesting language. I haven't used it in quite a while, but I do like it. It's a nice one. There are a lot of good programming languages. Okay, so that, I think, will create an exit. Let's take a look. So you asked how our game was going. Let's have a look. Starting up the bot. Glad to hear it, Pat. As I said, it's a good language. I actually do a series of streams here. I need to get our next one scheduled, but it wasn't going to be this week because this, at least for the Americans, is a holiday week. We have Thanksgiving is coming up. Congratulations, Ox. You found a mistake. At least you did it with yourself. Ox. Welcome back, Ox, and appreciate it. Let me get that fixed now, then. Yes, Turkey Day, exactly. Coins command. I hadn't realized we had a command that actually sent back what someone typed. I'm actually... Oh, user to check. Yeah, because we let you guys check the user that you want to check. And then we spit back what they had, so... Yeah. Let's see... So we can either restrict the check other people. Hey, Will, welcome. See, event args, arguments, no, as a specified user. We could just sanitize it. We also could just lock it down, one or the other. Yeah, except that there's still some other weirdness on that. Because if we do this, then you can't start with a slash command. But the thing that I would worry about is that, you know, you could type in like a cheer or something like that, because we do let you specify. So alternately, we could just say, we could just nuke this for now and not let you look that up, and then it locks it down for now. To do sanitize this. There we go. So we'll toss that in there. Yeah, I turned the bot off. One sec, Janiscu. Don't look up don't look up coins by user. Donk. Okay. Let's see. So we have that. So we're gonna look up by location. So that gets us our old exit location, and this gets us our new exit location. Let's go ahead and try this. Do. So once the bot starts up, we will see if we can't get that overlay doing what we want it to. So let's open up the overlay, scroll down, move it over to here.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Let's see. If you put the bot in water, will it sink, or is it a rowboat? Robot. Oh man, that is terrible, Will. That is terrible. Yeah, we don't have any help text for the sudo command. What? Auto start, DevChatter. I'm just gonna do this for now. Is that gonna work? No. I think. Yep, there we go. What's the error? Can I read property of undefined? Line 69. So it's trying to find the path of the required item. It's not finding an exit item. I didn't do something totally derpy, did I? Let's check out create level exit. Sources, let's get rid of that. Drop a breakpoint there. The quiz game. Yeah, I really need to mess with the quiz game. Okay, so that breaks. Yeah, the quiz game doesn't have the questions in it yet. We need to actually put real questions in there. Hey, I Heart Coding, welcome. Whoops, sources. Yeah, there we go. Alright, step over to the next function call. Nope, step into that one. Let's take a look. Math. Random chance, what did we get? 28. Okay, so that should not be an exit. This game, entity manager, create exit. Oh! Sometimes it's an exit, sometimes it's an escape. That's the problem. So it got one this time. Still blows up. Really? Can I read property undefined of undefined? Yeah, I know, right? Undefined of undefined. Yeah, I told you the quiz game is not really done. I wouldn't play the quiz game right now. We want to mess with stuff with it. Required location is going to be that item there. It found an item. Get first by class. It's an instance of the class name. Alright, we'll call this exit location and escape location. Escape item. Let's see, so... let's call this exit path. And this one will be the escape path. Escape path, this needs to get put in a method somewhere. And then we need to say if exit path is that, or, no, dang it. I don't want to write it that way. There's only going to be one. So... what if we did this? If we just said that or this? Either an escape item or an exit item? Okay, so we have an exit item in here. We're supposed to find the path to that item. Find the path from that location. That's not a location. Alright, I found the problem. Let's see, required entity. Required entity. Dot location. Done. Alright, there was our problem. That was way more annoying than that should have been. Okay, there we go. So this little guy is here. Let's try and get him out of here. And actually, before we do this, I want to start this the correct way. So let's get rid of this stuff off here. Just go back to the regular overlay. We're going to scroll over to this point, get rid of that. We don't need that running. Bring this up, and there we go. Okay. Oh, it put in a helicopter pad right away. That's awesome. All right. Had to waste items there. Alright, so escape, just fine. I think I want to make it so that it cannot show it on the first one. We cannot get an escape on the first one. So how are we going to do that? We could go the other direction, make it higher numbers better. Make it higher numbers more likely to have an escape. Let's take a look. So when we create the exits, so we want to do this create level exit. We want to use level number in this. So let's say times 90 plus this dot underscore level number. Let's say if random chance was greater than 85. Uh, 80. So chance of getting an escape increases, and this is a helicopter escape. So actually I want to reduce the chances of a helicopter escape. I think we're going to do 90 and 80, so it's going to be half and half whether you find a house or a helicopter pad. Yeah, Pat, I do actually go to some conferences. The last conference I spoke at was actually not this month, it was last month. I was speaking at Tech Bash, which is in Pennsylvania. So in all other ones we create a level exit. We create just a regular, like, next level escape tile. Let me go ahead and create that. I'm gonna refresh this page. Most years I speak at a conference called Code Mash, although I will not be attending this year. I have spoken at Code Mash. Ooh, I got it on level 3. That's interesting. Okay. So it still says game over, but instead of saying game over, I want it to be, I wanted to say something different. Crimson, I might be speaking at Star Trek, we'll see. So as I mentioned, I've spoken at Code Mash. So I spoke there 9 times in a row and did not speak there last year, and I'm not actually planning on attending this year. So I attended the last 10 Code Mashes, so it's been quite a while. I do go to Star Trek most years, so Crimson, I will probably see you at Star Trek. And if anybody else is in the Midwest region, Code Mash and Star Trek are a couple of great conferences to attend if you all are interested. There are actually a lot of good conferences all over the United States and all over the rest of the world as well, so I do recommend people check them out. Polly! Hey, welcome! Hey, greetings! Good to see you there. I'm actually still waiting for my regulars to figure out, no one has actually commented on what is different about this stream than any other stream of DevChatter. There's actually something different going on today. So far, no one has called me out on it. So, who knows? Maybe no one has noticed. Okay, so... do I grab the axe? No. There's a taco. This is getting dangerous. Oh, man. I am gonna die. And that's where I die. Did not escape. Dang it! Dang it! So close. Let's see. Oh, well, I did cut my hair, but that's not what I was talking about. I have cut my hair before episodes of the stream before. That's correct. I'm not wearing lipstick today, but that's normal. You have me. That's true, Zunjin. This is your first time here, so welcome. And yes, Polly, we have Crimson here as well. The chat box, no, chat box is totally normal. We've done that plenty of times as well. You should make it so we can play ski free. I don't know which game you're talking about, Pat. You fixed what I told you to fix. Crimson. Oh, actually, so Crimson, that is technically related, but that's not the change. So you're actually pretty close. You're pretty close. Crimson's the closest so far. He doesn't have it right. If S&B's still here, S&B's actually was on the right track as well. Pat, sorry about that. The bot does not let links go through on the chat. In Crimson, yes, exactly. Crimson's actually close. The change is actually why his suggestion of a fix got fixed. It's related. And I should mention to everybody that's in here, if you haven't yet, you really should check out our Discord. It is full of developers that are, passionate about different programming things like that, just like all of you, just like me. So if you want to chat with us outside of the stream, that is the best place to do it. Check out the Discord. It is actually very, very awesome. It is not a new webcam or new lighting. Okay. Let me go ahead and commit this change. So this is adding in a house escape exit. So you can now escape the zombies either by helicopter or through the house, and I want to actually change that up. Adding a house escape possibility. Yes. Jesta, yeah, it's new aftershave. Can you all smell it? That's the difference. Nope. Hey, Polycypher, thank you very much for that host. Greatly appreciated. I don't know if there's any people in Polystream, but if there are, welcome. We're doing a little bit of coding here today, so quite fun. Game programming. The ring in your hand. No, that's normal. I've been married for over a decade now, so that's common. The on-screen chat does not disappear. No, that's not it, Will. Yeah, it might be a few lurkers. I think that's probably about it. How long ago did you finish streaming there, Polly? And how did your stream go last night? Hey, Fleisch, welcome. Okay, let's see. So, that'll work. So I want to change up what the text is if you escape using the house versus using the helicopter. So where do we say that? So escape item is right here. We said helipad, and this needs to be like the escape type. Hang on a second, everybody. I apologize about this. Hey, sorry about that, everyone. When your kid's daycare calls, you answer that phone call. So, anyway, let's see. Twitter handle. I have a Twitter handle. It is linked in the chat and down below as well. I mean, time to... It's not a new green screen. And no, I don't take anything. No, kid's actually fine. Yeah, well, if my son were able to hack someone's computer, I would be proud of him right now, as he's, you know, very young. Just realized there's a science and tech directory. Yeah, exactly, Polly. And actually, you should see the tags on this stream are about programming and things like that. It's not a tumor. No, it's not a tumor. The thing that you guys didn't figure out is this is actually the first stream of DevChatter ever where I was sitting down. That's right, I am sitting down right now. I am not standing. I have stood for every other one. I messed up my knee over the weekend, that's why I was like, oh dang it, I actually have to sit down. Yes, only yeah. I've actually this is actually the first time I've sat in this chair in over a year. And so it's funny. So people were like, "Oh, you're gonna have the cat program, and you'll be doing the other thing." So I was like, "That's actually pretty close," because the cat's normally the one sitting in the chair that I'm in right now. So he's normally like back there, you know, sitting in the chair, and I'm, you know. So that's actually why the cat keeps jumping on me. He's like, "Oh, I need a lap. I need a lap." That's why the cat's been bugging me all stream, because he's like, "Oh, I can hop on your lap." So. No, actually, I actually did something bad to my knee. I don't know what it is, but I have to stay off of it. So, hence, stream where I'm sitting. So it's kind of weird. I wasn't sure how it would go, but that actually makes my green screen work way better because I'm not standing. So, I don't know, kind of weird. The reason it ends up being a problem is because the green screen is not a rectangle, it's rounded corners. And when I'm standing, it goes up to the top of the green screen, and so you see those corners. So that's actually why it doesn't work as well. Yes, that's actually totally true, Zunjin. I am actually getting old. Yeah, exactly. When you're older, if you mess something up, man, it gets messed up. Thanks for that follow, Jesta. Much appreciated. Yes, the cats want a lap dance. Exactly, Will. Precisely. I am either 18 or I'm actually neither 18 nor 30. The latter one's a lot closer. I am still in my 30s, thankfully. So the funny thing is, when I was like 20, people used to guess that I was like 30, and I don't look that different. So. I think I still, I don't know, I hope I still look relatively young, but who knows. Anyway, let's see. So I want to create two different types of escape. So the one type of escape that we have right now, the main one that we've been working with is the helipad. So let's see, where did I say game over? I say game over somewhere. Why is this? There it is. 39 confirmed, yes. Yeah, exactly. I keep telling the doctors just give me robotic limbs. Yeah, I know. Why don't they just give us robotic limbs? That works so much better. 30s were the best. There you go, Fuel Snable, yeah. I could pass as a college student. Well, appreciate it. Yeah, see, there you go. Let's see. Until you reach 69, you're not allowed to call yourself old. That's the rule. Kramer Dude, welcome. Thanks for that follow. Greatly appreciated. Crimson Green trying to guess my age. We'll leave that as an unanswered age. Where was I going? I was looking for the word game over. Game over. Wasteful. Game over. Fill text. Game over. Right here. So what causes us to draw game over? Update frame is game over. We could pass in which type of game over we have when we do that. By just using the end type. So instead of drawing that, we'll just print out the end type, whatever it is. Okay. Have a good one, Polycypher. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. So Poly does a stream overnight, so his streams actually don't start until usually around midnight our time, so hence his schedule's quite weird. There you go, Shockers. Yes. I wish I were still in my 20s. I would feel a little bit younger then. You are old once you can represent your age in centuries. Yeah, oh, that... there you go, Will. Maybe a fabricated arbitrary rule, but is now the... Alright, yep. Awesome. Alright, cool. The end type. So let's see, did that just work, or can I not get away with that little bit of cheating I just did there? Hang on, everybody. I'm going to see if I can just cheat myself that piece there. Might just work. So we're going to grab that sword. Whoa! Oh, I died! I don't have my items. I should have bought some items before we left. Oh man, that is a pile of coins. I'm going to grab those on my way. Okay, so it said escaped. Perfect. So that means that that end type works. So we can actually just cheat that way. So that's a quick little, you know, hey, yeah, we escaped. I could make that a little bit nicer. We might just title case it or something like that. But it works well enough for now. Getting the point across, because I don't want people to think when they get game over that they died, because that maybe sounds like a death. So now it's going to say either escaped or died. Display escape type at game end screen. So we'll do that. Alright. Crimson Green, have a safe trip home. Google claims someone is getting older soon. That could be Andy. I think we're all getting older literally every second. You have 2 interviews tomorrow. Well, in that case, twice the luck, Pat. Hopefully you'll manage to get one of those gigs and like it. That's one of the big things is I think so. I would say Fuel Snable that Pat is being interviewed is probably the best description of that from what it sounded like he said earlier. I guess he or she said. I assumed he. I don't know. Pat definitely is one of those names that could go either way. Yep, being interviewed. Okay, so let's see. We created the house escape. Did it say how much I escaped with? I escaped on level 2 with 123 points while holding nothing and 25 coins. See, there you go. I got it right with he. Success. I won on the game of chance we were just playing. So when we create this, I now want to say what type of escape we made. Let's take a look at the escape item class. Escape item right here. So when we escape, we publish an escape. We call game escape. That's in wasteful. Escape right here. Is game over? Escape. Do we pass in how we escaped? What type of escape? The escape type? Let's see. Everyone on the internet is a middle-aged man until proven otherwise. Thanks, Lamer. Ape escape. No, not an ape escape. We want to know... So essentially, we want to figure out, did you escape by helicopter or by house? What type of escape did you make? And the reason why is we want all these to be randomly generated levels. So if they're all going to be randomly generated levels, then we need to know how you escaped, because we don't know on what level you escaped. So escape type equals escape type. We're going to pass that. So we're going to save this value on here, which means this needs to be part of reset. So when we reset the game, we need to reset that. Oops. So I'll blank out escape type for now. I almost want to just create like end game info kind of a thing, like create an object that just keeps track of the end game info. So maybe we'll extract that out. Right now I'm just going to use this value, and we will pass this in to what gets reported to the server, so we know how you escaped. So end game hub invoke held items money and escape type. Let's jump to the hub. So this is on the server now. So up to this point we've been looking at JavaScript. Because we've been looking at JavaScript only, we need some way of reporting this back to the server so that we can manage this. So essentially what we've got is our C# based ASP.NET Core server is actually what manages the instances of these games. So when you play a wasteful like escape adventure, that's all done in JavaScript, but the game itself and like this ongoing storyline we want to create of people trying to escape this zombie apocalypse, that is all managed by our C# ASP.NET Core web server. So that's actually where this comes in. So this is why I need an object, escape type. This shows why I need an object, and we're going to create that object. And the nice thing is that the hub should automatically do the mapping as long as we pass in this full object of all these types. So we can just create one, send it in, and then we'll be good. Okay, so let's do that. So for now, we'll create this, and then maybe right afterwards we'll do the refactoring to fix this up. Escape type needs to get passed by the escape item, so this game escape, and escape type will get set up here by this escape type. This dot underscore escape type equals escape type. And this will get passed in when we do an escape. Okay. And that is escape type. And for now, escape type is just going to be a string. And since I want this to stop yelling at me, wasteful game. Sprite object to display. This is item type. We can have different item types for an escape item? Really? That actually doesn't sound right to me. Can we do that? It's always a consumable. Yeah, it's a consumable item type. Why would it ever be anything other than a consumable item type? You essentially pick up... So the way that the escape works is you basically pick it up, is the way we treat it. So things can walk on it, and you basically pick up the item. You use the item. You don't... I should say you use the item, you don't pick it up. Pickup type is instant. So that's also the same. So they're consumable and instant automatically. So I'm going to do this. Type and instant. And I need to include these, so we're going to import this over here. So item effect type, item pickup type, and item type all get included into this file. So that allows them to be used inside of this JavaScript. We import them in from this other file, and that's how we get them. So these are now accessible in here. They already sort of were there, but since they were always getting passed in, it didn't matter. Effect types on effect types of item. Number of uses is always going to be 1. Why is that on there? Escape type, effect point map, array of values for the specified effect. Since we're talking about age, what do you think is an age limit before a coder cannot be competitive enough? Andy, what do you mean? You're talking like, I guess I'm wondering about your phrasing there. Do you mean where developers should be very competitive? Shockers, we are coding a little JavaScript game to be played on the stream. Andy, if you clarify your question, I would love to answer it. Yeah, exactly. This is the challenge of the stream, is we don't all speak the same language, so I will try my best to figure out what you mean if you say something and I don't quite get it, but I can't guarantee it every time. So consumable and instant, we don't need that, and we don't need the 1. Those don't make sense. I don't need those. And I need to do the same thing with the exit item that I did to the escape item. And in fact, I want to make them be the exact same thing. So that's the other escape item there. So there we go. That is much simpler. So I was modifying the escape item. I want to modify the exit item as well. So let's go here into the exit item. I also want to remove type here. Uses, and pickup type. And you can see by these classes why I want to get rid of some of these pieces that they're matching on. So let's do this. So that is type and pickup type, which are going to go away from here. And then uses is also going to go away. We don't need that. Whoops. And uses just becomes 1. Okay, this one also needs the new import at the top. Okay, and now it should be all happy and stuff. There we go. Let's see, so I think Andy is saying, how young do you need to be a junior dev? That could be Pat. So I don't think there's any specific age on any of those kinds of things, especially since developers get started at different points in their career and have different amounts and type of experience. So there's a lot of variance on those. Chef, yeah, so we do get questions often about programming and development career here, and I am very happy to answer that type of question, as there are a lot of people in professional development that I do want to help get the answers to these sorts of things. Andy, I think I used the word competitive properly. Someone who is able to compete with market standards. So let me go read your question again. What do you think is a good age before a coder cannot be competitive? So I think it's the word enough that I'm actually not sure about the usage there, of what you mean, because there's two possible interpretations of that. So I guess I'll just kind of generally answer that one. So I would say in the early part of your career, you will... So in all parts of your career, you're going to, as a person, want to try to be competitive to get the jobs you want. Spending some effort in making sure that you are someone that is worth hiring is a very big thing. I would say that no matter what your experience level is, networking is going to be one of your greatest things for being able to stay competitive in the job market. So have a lot of people that know who you are and respect you. So the idea being, whenever someone I know is looking for a job, I always tell them, you know, hey, whenever you're going to apply somewhere, you know, ask me if I know someone. Because if I do, I will contact whoever it is that I know there and say, you know, hey, Chris is looking for a job. He's actually really, really smart. You should, you know, look at him. So pull his resume off the top of the pile. Or, hey, yeah, I worked with Caitlin before. She's really good. You want to hire her. She is dedicated, and she will basically make your code better than you could possibly imagine. So everything goes on networking. You really want someone to tell you that, because at a lot of companies, you don't get the interview because they never even looked past your resume. So it's very important to make sure you're always networking and things like that. In terms of getting too old to still be competitive, I think there's a lot of variance in that. A lot of people do have trouble still finding new jobs once they reach a certain age as a developer. Some organizations are smart and realize that having some developers with a lot of experience and some developers with a little bit of experience is actually more valuable than having an entire organization made up of one group or the other. So there's some big stuff there to think about. But I do recommend that that whenever you're looking at jobs and the job market, remember networking is the big thing. Get to know other developers, work with them, don't burn bridges. Let's see. You had an intern who was in his 70s. Yeah, so that's actually one of the other things is a lot of people will switch in to programming at different ages too, so just depends. People just want to do this for a living and not have to work crappy jobs anymore. Sure, that's true. The term junior and senior devs aren't really referring to age, it's experience as a developer. I wouldn't say it's necessarily experience, but like there is some to that, but it's also style. So it's not always just age, it's not necessarily numbers of years of experience. I would say it's how you approach a problem is one of the bigger differences. So some people take longer to start approaching the problem as a senior developer. And the reason I say that it's a job approach style and not necessarily even a skill-dependent difference is that you can have a junior developer more skilled at programming than a senior developer. So, and yes, as Asterisk 6 mentions, a lot of people change careers, and so that is another one that gets you a lot of variance and experiences. Yeah, don't burn all the bridges. Exactly. So, yeah, try not to burn bridges. It's not a good idea. There are very few bridges that I've burned in my career, and I try not to burn them. I work very hard to not burn them. Okay, so anyway, so that's our escape item. I just removed that, so that's one that's instance that's consumable, and I believe that is going to work. So here's how we're gonna see if that's working. There we go. Okay, picked up a nice big coin pile, and I'm gonna exit. Get the sword. Exit this level. Oh man, that's gonna be hard to get to. I could escape up this way. There we go. And I got the Pepsi on my way too. Uh-oh, we're still at another exit. This isn't an escape yet. Yeah, exactly. If a bridge burns, you want to try to have it not be like a bridge that you burned. Died. Derp. Oh, I should have killed the guy above me and then gone out that way. Bummer. Let's see. Some bridges are made of gasoline. Yes, it does happen. There are some people that you're going to work with where the only way to separate from that person is eventually for the bridge to be burned, and those do happen. Guy you worked with, when your company laid off half the employees, sent an FU all email to everyone. Nice, Fuel Snable. I have never been in that kind of environment. I don't really like. I don't want to be in a place where my coworkers don't like me and I don't like my coworkers. That does not sound fun. Okay, so that did seem to work. I would like to see the other escape at some point. Oh man, I just got surrounded there. I guess I should have gone for the lower exit there. Let's see. You think one of the reasons young people are attracted is because they can be expected to work ridiculous hours just for having their quote dream job? Yeah, I think a lot of companies do expect a lot of the young workers are basically just going to work all the time because, hey, they're not married, they don't have kids, they don't have, much life yet, we can just get them working all the time, which I've never believed in. I've run a lot of internship programs over the years at the companies that I've worked for, and I can tell you one of the big things that we always pushed was we don't work overtime, we don't do emergencies. You're going to work basically a 40-hour week, and that's, pretty much it. You're going to have vacation time. Sometimes at work, we're going to have fun. We're going to do interesting things, but at the end of the day, we're going to get some work done, and then you're going to go home and do, whatever it is you want to do in your life. So that's the big thing. There is no sense, it's not your dream job if you don't get to enjoy it. Bring your cat to the interview, tell him it's support animal, because you are fragile and you don't take rejection well. That's awesome, Will. I would recommend against doing that. I probably won't get you the job. He was weird and actually made several people sad because most people actually had nothing to do with the reason the company was doing badly. Yeah, Fuel Snable, that's normal. Bring your dino to the interview. Chattosauruses, exactly. Okay, so cool. I'm going to commit that change because that definitely seems to work. Let's do this. Let's confirm that we get that value. So we're going to debug this and see what we end up with. What the? Build errors, what? Oh, wait, hang on. I think I just need to stop the project. Your project just got canceled. Andy, I hope that's I hope that you're a full-time employee, so project getting canceled does not mean that you just lost your job. If you're a consultant, then I should say contractor, then project getting canceled is usually a really bad thing. A nightmare is also a dream job. That's fair. I have worked for one of those people before. I've had clients that were quite bad. Okay, so we want to find an escape. There's an escape. Fantastic. Get in the house. Go! Escaped. Now, as soon as this disappears, that's when it's going to call the server, so now it just hits up here. Escape type, null. Okay, so it didn't send the escape type, so we didn't actually get one from that. I didn't set it. Derp. That's on me. Okay, well, we'll hit continue all the same. And now I'm going to go to the level creator. So this is the doorway. So this, we need to have the escape type. And we'll call this safe house or something like that. These values need to get stored somewhere else. They're not going to be, that's not the place that we want them to be. And we'll call this helipad. And the way that I think it's actually going to work is I want to request a specific type of escape. So when we create the escape object, I want to pass in the escape that we're going to use. So the idea being, when you create a new escape item, you're going to create a helipad or a doorway or something like that, and that's going to be the object. So escape type will be built in. We won't have to specify it. So that's the idea. You experimented with a 6-hour day in the northern Sweden. A 6-hour workday could actually work really well. Let's see. I'm in Norway, so I work 5 hours maximum. There you go, Fuel Snable. In the US, people work 5 hours maximum probably, and they're required to be in the office for 8 hours. I'm a developer in mentioned country, just got home from... Oh, there you go. Getting woken up at 3 a.m. is always fun. No, it's not. No, getting woken up at 3 a.m. is not always fun. What's the name of the song? BO 2015. Check below the stream and you'll find information about the music that is playing.
Developers.
Jessica Mack, welcome. Welcome everyone from that stream. Glad to see you're all here. Can we get some hype in the chat for all of our new visitors? Yeah, see, I hyped over here because I don't have my overlay turned on. But there you go. Welcome everyone. Hopefully you had a fantastic stream. I don't know what you guys were just doing, but we are doing some C# and JavaScript development. So welcome everyone. Make yourselves comfortable. Can we get some nice people saying hello here on the stream? I would appreciate the hype. Oh, come on, where's an exit? Oh, I'm dead. Dead. Greetings, welcome everyone. Hey. Computer nerds. Oh, we like computer nerds. Computer nerds are great. Hey, greetings. Yeah, Bomber's not involved as much anymore, but still interesting. Let's go ahead and try this again. So we're going to try it with debugging. I want to find out, did that value get sent up? Because we should now be setting the value. Oh man, I should have purchased a weapon before I started this. All right, that was a mistake. All right, shop. Hang on. Let's continue. Hang on. I need to buy an item before we try that. I need to go to the shop. Hey, Katrina, welcome. Hello, everyone. All right. So we're gonna say shop by 3. Whoops. I did not want to breakpoint there. Thank you. I don't even know what's going on, so let's kill that. Oh, I left a bunch of breakpoints. I should not have left a bunch of breakpoints. Now let me hit all my breakpoints. So there, bot has started the regular way now. No more breakpointing. So we're gonna say shop by 3. So I bought a sword. Shop by 3. Let's buy a couple of swords because I'm gonna need them. because I want to make sure that I actually survive this test we're doing here. So let's refresh this, and we're going to start up the game again. So keep in mind, for anybody that is new here, our game is actually one that can be played through the chat with chat commands, but while we're debugging, I'm obviously using keyboard inputs because it's a lot faster, because we're just trying to test things. And yes, a whole bunch of derp in the chat. Who derped? Janiscu. Yeah, derp. Oh man, we are getting super unlucky and not finding an escape. There's our first escape. Oh, this is gonna hurt so much. Ooh, and I got out. Oh man, that took all those items I bought. That was a really expensive trip. But we escaped on level 6 with a whole bunch of points, holding nothing. So we got out, we didn't have items left, but we did make it, so that was cool. Okay, so a couple of things, because I know we do have a bunch of new people here, I do want to mention them. So first off, welcome everyone. My name is Brendan. This here channel is DevChatter. We do a lot of different coding on here. Right now we're doing some game programming in JavaScript and C#. Mostly we do C# programming, but sometimes we do JavaScript as well. This project obviously is JavaScript one. And we do other languages on the stream also, just depends on what we're doing. Sometimes we have guests on the stream. If there's a guest, the guest is up there in that corner, and you can see them up there. Other things to mention, if you want to chat with me and the other people that are here, you can check out our Discord. I linked it over there in the chat. You can find all that information below. I actually have a lot of stuff down below in the panels that you can find. All the code that we do here on the stream, as Janiscu mentions there, is actually out on GitHub, and you can find it at github.com/devchatter, so none of the stuff we do here is closed source. It's all open source. It's all out there, so you can find everything we're doing. We push it out during the stream as well as sometimes after, so if you want to take a look at any of that stuff, feel free to have a look. As I said, links over in the chat as well. We also do a number of interesting things here on the stream, including some educational stuff for new and beginning programmers. I do a series called Learn to Code in C#, where I teach beginning programmers how to program at all. The language we use, of course, is C#, but that is really irrelevant to the skills of learning how programming works. So that's one of the things we do. I don't have any scheduled right now because we weren't going to do any this week because of the holiday in the United States. So probably next week is going to be our next one. So I will get those scheduled, and they'll be at the link over there in the chat. And if you click on that, it will take you to this page here, where you can find information about our past episodes, including videos of some of these. And if you want to see the ones that are older, because we actually did a series of these in the summer, and we're now doing another one in the fall. So we're just going to do a series of like handful of episodes, like 6, 7, 8 episodes, something like that in the fall, and then we'll probably do another one in the winter. So if you do want to find those, you can actually find the archives of our old videos over on our YouTube channel, where you should be able to see playlists of all the stuff that we've done in the past on the stream. So including our Learn to Program in C#. So it's right here. So if you take a look at that playlist, that has all of our videos from the summer when we were teaching people how to program in C#. So if you want to check those out, that is actually one of the resources that we have here. Keep in mind that if you want to get notified of these specifically, you can actually get reminders of the Learn to Code in C# stream if you don't want to follow our stream. But one of the better ways to do that is just to follow DevChatter on Twitch also, and you'll get those notifications as well. So whichever way you want to do, whether you want notifications for both or one or the other, either way is cool. Alright, so back to some of this coding. I figured I'd do that since I figured there were probably some new people here. Let's see, so we pass up that value, we pass up what that value is. I'm going to ignore it and not save it just yet, but I want us to be able to start up the game inside of that house. So when you restart the game, I want you to be in that house if that's how you escaped. And I mean, that's of course why I drew the inside of a house. So I made little pixel pieces for that as well, that we were trying out on the previous stream. So that part works. Let's take a look at... Why is this complaining anyways? Is this just complaining about this? Structure param, wasteful, image source. Oh, and then we added X and Y that we didn't give params for. This is why it's complaining. Param, let's see, this is number X, X chord. Param, we're going to call this also a number. It's Y and the Y coordinate. And I'm actually fully going to write that. Coordinates. Wasteful game images. There we go. Okay. So now it's done complaining about that. We'll fix this one as well because it's complaining. Because it's always complaining about these things. The escape item, I think, has all these values. Exact same ones, because these need to be merged into being the same thing. Effect types of the item specified effects. Yep, there we go. And the effect item, this is item name, wasteful game, sprite for displaying entity, type of the item, type defining how it's picked up, effects of the item, number of uses it has, and this is mapping of the values of the effects. Array mapping the values of the effects. Okay, there we go. Why is it still redlining me there? Okay, because of this. The effect type is get amount for effect. Effect type to filter on. I hate these stupid things. 1 second. Value of the effect. Okay. Alright, you just started CS, I'm assuming computer science, a few weeks ago, or C#, one or the other. Mish, awesome, that is fantastic. Glad to hear it. Lamer, DevChatter, do you have any info about the game you are making? You mean like some documentation somewhere explaining the game, the concept, and things like that? I have not written up that document yet. I do want to write that document. Especially so that people can contribute. So anyone in the chat who is interested is actually welcome to contribute to this project in whatever way you really like. Is that what it doesn't like? Did it not like the protected? What's it complaining about? Is it this? Actually, it might be this. Hang on. Yes, computer science. Yep, sounds good. I feel like C# is becoming one of those languages that has so much and overlapping syntax that a beginner might never catch up. So I can definitely get that, get where you're coming from on that one. C# has a lot of ways of doing the same thing, but so do other languages. Like JavaScript has the same concept. There are so many ways of doing the same thing. I don't necessarily think that that is... oh yeah, there's the comment. Yet JavaScript is more popular than C#. So I think JavaScript's popularity has less to do with the language itself and more to do with where you can use it. Which C# also is a language that is fairly usable right now. So JavaScript, C#, there are a lot of languages that are usable, and I recommend those types. I wouldn't recommend specific languages. I wouldn't say like avoid certain languages or anything like that. But I do think it is useful for a language to have multiple ways of doing things. That does mean there's a lot to learn in C#, especially when you're going to be reading the code. But I do think that... tell someone to reverse a string in JavaScript and you'll get 20 different answers. Exactly. Okay, well, that's fair. I would probably say to avoid VB and... yes, there are things, but among most of the languages that people are likely to be asking about, I'm probably not going to tell them to avoid them. So most of the answers out there are going to be good ones. There are a few that I would steer people away from for various reasons. So like VB, for example, I'd really only steer you... So I know people that like the style of that, and I can understand it. It's not for me, but I understand why people like it. The reason why I'd steer people away from VB is actually that Microsoft has been moving away from it. So rather, I don't want you to go down a path where you are going to put in a bunch of effort into learning a language and then it's not supported. So I don't want you to run into that. So that's one of the challenges there. What do you recommend for a first language? So C# is actually a language that I think is actually a good one to learn first. It's one of the ones that is useful for that kind of thing. Some of it goes down to style. Compiled or interpreted languages. Either or both, and it depends on when you want to use it and for what. Compiled and interpreted languages are both great, as well as whatever you want to call what C# is. Java is also perfectly fine. So Java and C# basically you run into pretty much the same kind of thing for early languages. There's not going to be much of a difference. I obviously recommend C#, but if you're running, if you want to build a GUI application on a Mac, you can learn Java. If you want to build Android apps natively, you can do Java that way. But you can also do them with Xamarin on C# if you want as well. So that's why I said there's a lot of choices. There's a lot of things you can do with them. If you want to get into game programming, for example, you want to learn C#. Period. That is a very useful language because Unity has become so common. C# is a great choice for that. So it really depends on what you want to do with it too. But there are a lot of languages that are easy to approach, and I think C# is one of those ones that there is a certain barrier that once you get past understanding types and static and strict typing that you'd get in C#, once you understand that piece, C# is actually not a difficult language to use. So that's one of the reasons why I recommend it. And the same thing I say for C# applies for Java as well. And JavaScript is actually also a perfectly fine language. It's got some weirdness about it. It's got more weirdness than most other languages, but it's also pretty easy to pick up. BG Ricky, you just managed to secure a job doing C# web dev after doing 4 years of VB. Well, there you go. That's awesome. Congratulations on the switch. Hopefully you enjoy that. There's so much about C# that makes me believe it's a better learning language than Java, but that discussion belongs in hashtag rants. Fair, Greendolf. And Greendolf is actually mentioning one of the channels that we have over in our Discord that is specifically for ranting about, like, programming or work stuff or something like that. So, like, you get stuck with some awful thing, we have a channel to just rant about it. Nowadays, with TypeScript becoming so mainstream, learning types is a must anyway. Fair, Simon, fair. You're learning C#, some F#, very little resources in F# on the web compared with C#. True. So that's actually one of the reasons why I recommend, for example, people steer away from VB, is the fact that you will find a lot fewer resources about it than you will for something like C#. I often use Google Translate for foreign code. Oh, man. Okay, so that is actually one of the worst things, is when you get code that is written in another, like, language. So one of the challenges, I know I've talked with a lot of people on the stream here, where there will be someone at your work, there was someone that what did they call it? Someone referred to something as like Norwenglish a long time ago on the stream, some phrase like that, where they were like commenting that one of their professors liked to use like half English, half Norwegian words, and it's apparently one of those, like, you should never ever mix languages in your code, because then people have to understand two, like, written languages to understand what you're trying to say. It's a dangerous thing. Try to stick to one language, whatever it is. So, TypeScript is abused nowadays, to be honest. Most apps will be okay with vanilla JS. Sure. Yeah, so that's actually one of the reasons why I specifically wanted to do this in vanilla JavaScript, is because vanilla JavaScript is actually very powerful and there's a lot of things you can do with it. And while I do like TypeScript, I think a lot of people switch to TypeScript basically on the, well, I know C# and other typed languages, so I'm going to use TypeScript. And, you know, that'll be the way of doing JavaScript. And I kind of sit there and I'm like, well, yeah, but then you don't really understand the JavaScript. I mean, like, TypeScript's, you know, like, useful and good, but I think there's value in that as well. So I kind of want people to understand both. That being said, I want to do TypeScript on the stream at some point as well. Okay, so let's jump back into this. Where were we? We made these changes here, so we added escape type to the hub that we can pass up. If we get it, we added those JS.doc comments onto these. So this is just adding a JS.doc comment to the effect item. So that's a JS.doc only change. Yes, it is. So is that. Okay, so updating JS.doc comments. This one is adding escape type to these. So that adds escape type. That's the exit item. Okay. Adding escape type to escape item. Okay. Whoops. Wait, hang on. What's the purpose of the free symbol code piece? Andy, I will give you a quick explanation of symbols, but that is actually a big concept that I don't want to jump into too deeply into JavaScript, so I will give you the like 30-second explanation of it. So here's the idea. The way that a symbol works. Think of this as creating... this creates an object based on that string that I have now assigned into apply. And essentially what this does is this creates an unknown value, so that can't be repeated anywhere else. So the only way to get the apply value is here. This is the only way that you can get it. We can then use this as a unique value. So think this is an enum of a GUID, and the only way to get the value of the GUID is by using this one. Now the reason you do that is so that you don't end up with like any kind of you don't want repeats of these values and things like that. So this is, as a developer, I cannot get what this value is. JavaScript doesn't give it to me. I don't get to see it, I don't get to mess with it. If I want to use this symbol, I have to use it as a symbol object. So apply at that point basically becomes an unknown constant that I can use. So if something has apply, I know it's a constant, I know it's unique, I know it's a symbol, it's not going to match any other one other than itself. And so that gets me a nice piece. And yes, Pat, symbols are a new part of JavaScript. This is an ES6 change, having the concept of a symbol. There is actually a way to get the same symbol. So if I want to be able to create the same symbol separately in two places from this string, I can do that. I don't yet know of a scenario where I would want to do that instead of just passing the object. Stole it from Lisp. I can tell you're mad about that. That's great, by the way. So one of the funny things is I actually don't complain at all. When a language has a cool concept, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, so-and-so stole this from this other language. And I'm like, okay, good. Good, it was a cool idea. Let's use that. That other language did something right? Good. How can we bring that into our language? Like, I kind of sit there, I'm like, I don't care if you steal it from another language. Someone else did something effectively. Cool, do it. Like, let's bring it in. Let's improve our languages. As a developer, like, I want all of my languages to get better. I don't care where you take it from, because that's one of the other big things is that C#, for example, a lot of people are commenting, you know, that the direction it's going is towards all these other languages, and I'm like, good? Like, it needs a lot of these updates? What is that double arrow? A lot of things do get stolen from Lisp, yeah. I don't know that operator. What do they use it for? What is this? The spaceship operator? I don't actually know this one. Basically, instead of returning 1, true, or 0, just depending on whether the spaceship operator will return 1, 0, or -1, depending on the value on the left argument is. So, if A is less than B, then it's -1. If A equals B, it's 0. Oh, so it's a quick little one for doing a compare operator in C#. Okay, so it'd be like it's basically it does the compare. I see. Yeah, I see that now, Will. That's nice. That's actually very convenient. I like that operator. That'd actually be super useful. The TIE Fighter operator from C++. Let's see. Exactly, binary. Good things are good. Correct. Yes. Use it for comparisons. Do you think there will soon be one unit? No, Ox. That's not true. Developers cannot agree on spaces versus tabs, or which editor to use. It doesn't matter if one language is literally the greatest language ever written and includes the features of every other language that did anything right. Developers will not be able to agree on it. There will not be one language. And yeah, Andy, that would be good for sorting as well as other things. Yep, and yeah, Will, exactly. It's the same as the C# compare to. Yep, just as an operator. So that's interesting. I'm kind of surprised C# hasn't just picked up that operator then. Fuel Snable. The universal language already is JS. That's not true. That's not true. Keep in mind that people are creating. So like, WebAssembly has led to C# creating the concept, like creating Blazor so that you can do C# in the browser and avoid JavaScript completely. The universal language is English. I don't know that that's true either, but not even sure that we could really call that a planetary language just yet. It's like it is, I believe, the most common second language on the planet. Okay, let's push that up, and so a couple of things I do want to mention. So normally here on the stream, because I do know that we have some new people here, we usually stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on the stream, and so you get four DevChatter episodes a week, and most of them are 2 to 3 hours long. And usually about the same time of day. So if you want to see what our schedule is, you can actually ask our bot. I think bot's still in the chat, right? So like, let's say that you lived in Germany. Then in Central European Standard Time, we stream on Mondays, Tuesdays at 8 p.m., and Thursdays at 6 p.m., and Saturdays at 7 p.m. If you lived in California, then we stream in the morning. So, no, sorry, Will, it will not find you. But you can get time for when our streams actually happen. If you want to catch that schedule, you can also find information for that down below, so that you don't miss our streams. Best way to actually make sure that you get it is to get notifications by clicking the follow button. And I think I also mentioned that you can join our Discord and actually chat with a bunch of us. Those are some great ways to make sure that you keep up with what we are doing here. But great question about how the symbols work. You can kind of think of it like like we use them sort of like an enum that has a GUID behind it, but you can't ever see the GUID. So you'll never get like accidental cast or usage of it. So that's kind of the idea. I don't need that. So there is a concept that I want to do for our game that I haven't done yet that is kind of a big one. let me kind of show you. So if you look at our game, and thanks for that follow, Binary321. One of the things that you're going to notice when you look at our game here is that we are dealing with a very short Y coordinate. You'll notice that this is a grid that only displays 5 by like 13 or something like that. 13 by 5. Can you use IP address info for the schedule command? Will, I don't think I can, because I don't think Twitch gives us that info. But essentially, the concept I want to do is this. What I'm thinking about doing is having the game center around our character, so that as you move around, he stays in the little guy stays in the middle, and we shift everything else around him, which would allow us to have bigger maps and a little bit of exploration. Because I think what I'd like to do is maybe have a map that's like, 15 by 15, where you really only go left and right a little bit, but then maybe once you can shift away from the center once you get to the edge. And since we have separate tracking of where the character's positioned and how we display, we should be able to do that. So that should get us some of the idea of moving around and looking around the map. So that's one of the things that I kind of want to build into the game. We haven't done yet. If anyone is interested in that, then that is something that that I do want to work on at some point. If anybody wants to tackle that, feel free. Just make sure that I'm not working on something else, because I don't want us to have a big merge conflict. Yep, so bot will figure out where that time zone is for what you specified, and if you know what your UTC offset is and want to use that instead, you could do, for example, like schedule -4, and it will tell you at UTC -4 what that is. So if you give it a number, then that is actually the best way to get that information. We do not accept a time zone. You gotta put in you have to put in an offset, and the reason for that, OX DQMC, is that there's actually more than one time zone that uses the same acronym for it. And so we don't want to display the wrong time zone. We'd rather just, have it fail and make you try with a better result. And the other reason is that if someone asks for the wrong time zone for what they wanted, we don't want them to get confused. So, schedule Lithuania, the expected API. Station convention border should be on. Weird. Anyway, yeah, so you can get schedules for a lot of different places like that, so works out pretty nicely. So as I said, I want to make it so that we can actually shift around on the grid and be essentially, we have a viewing window and it moves around as you move around the grid. So that's kind of what I'm sort of trying to go for there. Will it actually work for India? Didn't it work for India? I thought it worked. That gave us India Standard Time. Well, it's not coming back with the time it is right now. Actually, you're right. India might be wrong. I don't know. It might be wrong on India. I'm not sure. Because we might not be adjusting it quite right. So India we might not handle correctly. So if I have India wrong, I apologize about that. Good evening. What do you think about learning C++? Useful now and in the future? Depends on what you want to do with it. So whenever people are asking which language to learn, I always want to tell you it depends on what you want to do. If you want to build low-level stuff, if you want to build your own language, knowing C, C++, that kind of thing is useful. And it will be relevant, as Fuel Snable says, C++ will be relevant for a long time, but again, it depends on what you want to do with it. And as Fuel Snable mentions, C#, I don't know how long C# is going to be around. We can't predict that. We can't predict it with C++ either. But languages can survive for a long time, and it depends on what you want to do with them. That's why I always point out when people say, hey, what language should I learn? One of the responses that I usually give is, well, what do you want to do with it? If you want to build games right now, one of the best answers is C#, because you can use Unity to build games on almost any platform, so C# is very good for that. If you want to build applications, There are a lot of great languages to choose right now. So C# is a good one, Java is a good one. Some people, building stuff in Python. There are people that use PHP. I don't use PHP, but some people do. A lot of people can do all kinds of stuff. There are great languages for all sorts of things, and it really comes down to what do you want to build. If you're doing anything on the web, you need to know JavaScript. Even if that's not your primary language, even if you don't want to use Node. And yes, I do believe I'm off by a half an hour on India Standard Time, which is a bummer. Hey, Ori, welcome. Greetings. Glad you are here, and have a good one. Yes, it is late in Europe for a lot of people. Janisku, you program all in C# with no JavaScript because of Blazor. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was commenting that when people were saying that JavaScript is like the universal language, it's hard to say because Blazor has picked up so much steam that it's tough for JavaScript to really say that. Michaela Fox, hello, greetings. I love that emote, the little cat there. That's pretty cool. I like it. Depends on your tolerance for debugging. High tolerance, go C++, low tolerance, C# or F#. Yeah, debugging in C++ can be a big pain. If you mess stuff up in C++, you're going to be looking around. And welcome, what is that, Tady? Just guessing on that name, and I apologize if I just butchered that, but welcome, thank you for that follow, much appreciated. Does Unreal use C# too, or just C++? As far as I know, Unreal is C++, but you got to remember a lot of things can take you a long way. So there are lots of languages that you can look at to do things. So that's why I would recommend that if you do want to get into gaming, look into what type of gaming and what type of stuff you want to use. So there are a lot of games out there that do run on Unity and C# and things like that. But C++ is also a great language for doing game programming. But it depends on what level and what types of things. So with most, like, if you're going to build like a large game, you want to look at a game engine. And whenever you're going to do that, you want to look at what the game engine's written in. Because there's two approaches. You can either be building and modifying a game engine, or you can be scripting with a game engine, because some game engines, they're written in something, and then you script and modify them in something else. So that, for example, is like... Unity is, when you program in it, is... So, as I said, I haven't built anything personally in Unity, but I do know kinda, sorta how it works, and the idea is that you're not building like a full-on C# application when you build something in Unity. Essentially what you're doing is you're leveraging Unity, which is using your C# code almost kinda like it's a script. So it's kinda just calling into you to supply the details of what you want to do. So that's basically the concept. And yes, as Janisku mentioned, Unity used to have JavaScript, but now it is, I believe, just C#. Blazor doesn't really seem to have picked up anywhere near that kind of steam. Oh yeah, so Greendorf, I'm gonna agree with Janisku and Will on this one, in that you're right. Blazor is not like some driving force of the development world right now. However, it's still super early, and basically there's not much of anything that's picked up that much steam in terms of WebAssembly. So we'll see where all that goes. Who knows? You've been trying to move to Unreal from Unity, hoping that C# and C++ are similar. They're kind of similar. Kind of. They share some similar syntax and some of the same concepts, but you will find them to be quite different, actually. C# and JavaScript, Unity used to now have C# JavaScript. Unity used to have a language called Boo, too, I think. Oh, weird, Sodza. And also, Sodza, welcome. I haven't seen you in a long time. You said some stuff earlier, but I don't think I acknowledged the fact that, that you'd come back after a while. Can WebAssembly modify the DOM yet without calling JS? I believe it can, yes. Someone... I know I was talking with some people that were discussing the fact that they used to have a little bit of JS code in their Blazor in order to be able to do some of the DOM operations, but I think they did manage to get rid of that. It sounds like there are as many programming languages as there are spoken languages. Michaela, there are so many more programming languages than there are spoken languages, because anyone can create a new programming language. Not every, like, I guess anyone can create a spoken language, but people don't generally create new spoken languages as far as I know. The Rust community is doing amazing things with WebAssembly, and I'm super excited about it. Yeah, so Greendorf, that's the idea. Whether it's Blazor or something else, the point really that I was trying to make is that WebAssembly is what's actually going to make JavaScript not just straight up be the universal language of all, like, as what people are, were mentioning that it would be. And C++, yes, you have to understand pointers if you're going to use it. C# is closer to Java than C#. Yes, that's correct. C# and Java are very similar languages, and C++ is actually fairly different from C# and Java. Unity can be deployed to WebAssembly too. Yes. It has been some time, been very busy, except C# is far... There you go, so it's strong opinions. You usually don't use plain pointers anymore. Okay, yes, that's fair. So C++ has actually gotten to the point where it does some managing of the pointers for you, so you don't have to get into it as much as you used to. Which is, I don't know, good thing, bad thing, who knows. Does Rust community not use Rust? Anyway. Couple of things I want to make sure that I mention, because they're I think they are important. I am going to spam some links into the chat there. If you want to take a look at our Discord, that's the best way to chat with the rest of us. You can find our code out on GitHub. And if you want to find archives of the videos, you can find them on YouTube. So if you want to see any of the videos that we've done here in the past, whether it be our Learn to Code streams or anything like that, you can find those on youtube.com/devchatter. You can also find stuff about our streams if you follow me on Twitter, either me as Brendonius or stuff specifically related to DevChatter on DevChatter_ on Twitter. Yeah, we didn't get that one. We have the domain, we've got the YouTube, we've got Twitch, we've got a whole bunch of other things. We did not get Twitter. I don't know how we didn't get Twitter, but we don't have it. Welcome everybody, and welcome Ryakhovskiy Mork, whose name I probably just butchered, and I apologize about that. If you tell me how to say that better, I will try to say it better the next time, but welcome all the same. Only noobs use underscores in their names, though. That's true, Michaela Fox. Only noobs would use... I like that. That's good. Happens. Okay, so... what did I want to do? No one. What? How is no one live? Well, that's a bummer. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, couple of things I want to mention. If you enjoyed any of the streams today, make sure you hit the follow button so you get notified the next time we go live. Also, be sure to check out our Discord and that sort of thing. It is really helpful. I want to click a couple of buttons. We will be back again tomorrow for another stream. It is going to be fun. So we hope to see you back tomorrow. It's going to be like 21 hours from now. First off, I want to thank a couple of people for hanging out today. So Katrina Crimson Green Greendorf, I know S&B was here for a little while as well, so thanks to our moderators for helping out with the chat. Everyone that followed today, I really appreciate it. It really does let me know that you're enjoying the stream, so I always appreciate having people here and asking questions. It was really great. So everyone who asked a question today, thank you very much. It makes for a great discussion. I really enjoy having all of you here. And Zultralord and Sushinator for your resubs. Much appreciated. Glad to have you here as part of the Chatosaurus crew. And a whole bunch of new faces, so really appreciate it. Love having everybody here. Guess I got here like 5 minutes before you ended. Yes, Michaela Fox. Yep, you got here towards the end of the stream. We've been going for about 3 hours now. I usually like to keep most of my streams at 2 to 3 hours. So I really appreciate everybody hanging out. It was a lot of fun. And you are welcome for the stream, and thank you for chatting with me today. Love all the hype in the chat. And I will see you all tomorrow at about the same time we started today. So remember, we're at about 3 hours in, and we we'll be back. We're doing more code. I should mention this week is a weird one because normally I stream on Thursdays, but that is Thanksgiving Day in the United States, so I will not be streaming on that day. I might be streaming on Saturday. We will see. No guarantee on that one. But next week we'll be back to our normal schedule for Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we will have 4 streams next week. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. I will see you all next time. Happy coding and good day.
What a day! What a lovely day!